This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
What is happening? I don't know what's happening, but it is a Monday night edition of the LowcoSports Lowdown. I'm Justin Jarrett. He's Wes Kerr. We're coming to you live on a Monday night to bring you the latest in local sports news from around the South Carolina Lowcountry. Our friend Mad Max will be joining us momentarily as well, and we've got some results loaded into the ticker. Lots of stuff going on today after kind of a little bit of a slower weekend. We had a lot of stuff rained out on Friday and Saturday. So it felt like an onslaught today, and I also was making my debut helping out with the dogs today. We had a little scrimmage, and I filled in coaching first base, so it was fun to be inside the fence today. But Salk played today. Unfortunately, they lost by 14 to the host school Hutchinson, 96-82, ending that magical run. But a heck of a season. We'll reflect on that a little bit. Some girls soccer scores. Hilton Head Prep 5-1 over JP2. That one got my attention. I know you'll have some thoughts on that. I watched on Buford's Own tonight, Philip Simmons steal a win from Buford 4-3. Buford still got him on aggregate, but so I'm not sure I assume that's tiebreaker. JP2 and Hilton Head Prep boys
it doesn't matter.
Scoreless draw, and JP2 won in PKs. No, I think the aggregate might matter on playoff seeding.
Well, goal differential, but this because if they're tied head to head, then I guess the next tiebreaker could be head-to-head aggregate or just goal differential between the entire. So I don't know. The tiebreakers are kind of
who knows? Who knows?
Different ranges of different
typically,
tiebreakers.
I think head-to-head tiebreakers they usually use aggregate if they split. Okay. So Buford's got him by 1 on that, so that's good. I'm interested in the Chapin Hilton Head girls lacrosse score. I haven't seen that yet because that's 2 pretty quality squads.
They were. I glanced the scoreboard while I was at baseball, and they were behind. At least if the score on the left, the visitors' score, they were trailing through midway through that game. When I went over to softball because you got Hilton Head High taking on JP2. Right. And JP2 was running up the score. They were up 11-3.
They won 13-3. That's a really young Hilton Head team. Yep. Like they got kids that, it's a JV team masquerading as a varsity team right now. They'll get paid back for it later on when those kids are grown up and they've got an extra year of being thrown into the fire. But they're taking their lumps right now. May River baseball lost on the road at Lucy Beckham, so that upsets the apple cart for them. Although Colleton almost got James Island, they lost 2-1. So that's interesting. Yeah, and you were at the nest for the Seahawks taking down the Bobcats, who just snake bit, man. I mean, that's too good of a team to be winless in region still, but that's where they are.
Sometimes how it goes in this level of baseball. I mean, a couple of close games, and Hilton had really controlled it. I don't think Bluffton. I didn't see enough from them today. Well, Miles Fry pitched well, but the offense was not very existent in this one. Also, Brook was dominant, and Bluffton just really couldn't find their groove offensively in this game. But that's a win that Hilton had needed. They almost had May River at home. They lost that one, and this was one they needed to have. And so, pressure's going to be on Bluffton on Wednesday over at the Den. I mean, you can't go
big time.
That's a much needed win for Bluffton that they'll need to get on. They got to defend their home field against Hilton Head. So that one should be interesting, but a really solid win for Hilton Head. I'm surprised the James Island Colleton County score. The Trojans almost fallen to
Bruce
scrappy Cougars team, and
heck of a game.
It wasn't Varner on the mound. It was Carpenter. Carpenter went all 7 innings. Yeah,
pitched really tough against a really good lineup.
Yeah.
I don't know who James Island has on the schedule this week because they do tend to. We've seen that they will hold back pitching for a non-region game if they feel like they want to prove a point, which they did the other night. Marchant shutting down Somerville was pretty impressive. But yeah, that James Island squad is really solid, but I think we've seen that they're beatable. The offense is not quite as potent as it has been. If you can hold them down, if you can score some runs, you got a shot. So I still think even with a loss tonight, May River still has a chance. I don't think they're going to beat them twice if they throw Marshawn at them, but you never know. I mean, Brazington or Corn might deal too. And they got Max Van Esselstyn back tonight, so that's another arm that they can throw in the mix. He was shut down for a little while, so yeah, we'll see. James Island looks like a team to beat still. On the softball side, May River lost to Elizabethton, Tennessee, 4-1. Buford 18-4 over Bluffton. We'll dig into the stats on that a little bit more. We'll wait for Max because he'll get excited about some of these stats. As you mentioned, JP2 13-3 over Hilton Head. West Ashley 9-1 over Colleton. Colleton Prep 16-1 over Northwood. And then the Sand Sharks, I know we'll wait for Max on that too for the big breakdown, but let another couple get away. The guys lost 6-4. Jesus. They gave up 3 in the ninth, got 1 back, but came up short. Softball, after almost letting a big lead get away in the 7th yesterday, give up 7 in the bottom of the 6th today and lose 9-5. Oof, that one's gonna sting. Just couldn't close out games. I was thinking last night.
5-2, and we were
talking about the offense.
But you know what? It wasn't the defense this time. It was the pitching. It was the pitching. It was the walks that doomed them, which is just something you don't see. You do not see that. That was surprising to me because they've been so good about being consistently finding the strike zone. That's not like them. That's tough. 3 walks from Kinlaw, 3 walks from Ramirez.
We've made a programming mishap, Wes. We're going up against Caitlin Clark right now. 52-50 Iowa with 3 minutes to go. I think. Our audience maybe.
Wow, they're getting
West
tested.
Virginia's given them. Yeah, West Virginia has given them quite a battle here in the 4th quarter. They've surged back in it. Clark went crazy in the 3rd. She put up 13 that quarter. I think she had 31 going into the 4th. But West Virginia's putting up a battle. So yeah, I think our numbers may lag until this game wraps up. I know I've got one eye on it. West Virginia has tied it up with 2:53 to go. Not to drive you to other programming, but
wow,
kind of like historic stuff. Here goes Caitlin crossing her up. Oh, no good.
This could be the final, the swan song potentially.
Yeah, and it's her last game at Carver Hawkeye regardless. So it's kind of a big deal regardless, but
you want to leave a good lasting impression on your home floor, and that would
well, you just want to send her off a hero, right? Not crying. You don't want to see her go out crying at home, but
right.
I don't know if it matters. Nobody's beating
West Virginia has other plans.
Girls. Nobody's beating Dawn Staley's girls, right? Staley's girls.
Oh man, they are. Was it like what was the margin of victory in that second round game on Sunday? It was like 40 points or something.
It was a lot to a little. I know that much.
Goodness.
I'll tell you if you want to know.
Hey, look guess who else is still dancing? Yeah, guess
who's that? Nick Pringle.
Our guy Nick Pringle.
Pringle's still dancing.
Alabama Crimson Tide. Yes, they're moving on to the Sweet 16. Hard fought win over the Lopes of Grand Canyon.
That was a crazy game.
I think.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
That was a crazy game too. Yeah. It was all over the place. 88-41 is what they did to Curry Kirkpatrick's Lady Tar Heels. Oof.
Oh no.
Yeah, that was rough.
No.
That was rough. How's your bracket looking?
Oh my.
Holding up okay?
Honestly, it's actually pretty solid.
Yeah.
It's actually, obviously it's not perfect, but we got the Final Four still intact. Although, we've been talking a lot about, there have been some upsets, but really the chalk is kind of held.
No, it's pretty
much
chalky.
More than I thought. All the 1 seeds are still in play.
Only one double-digit seed to the 16,
so
which is
I think if you picked I saw something. If you picked a bracket of all chalk, if you picked a bracket of all chalk, it would be in the top 20% on ESPN.
Yeah.
So
well, both of my
take
kids,
that if you will.
both of my kids picked
there were some upsets there,
brackets.
but the cream of the crop is held.
For the most part, yeah. I mean, there's only
sometimes this strategy works.
NC State's the only team above a 6, right? Everybody else is 6 or better. So yeah, not a ton of upsets tonight or this season. Kind of boring.
Yeah, Clemson's in the Sweet 16.
Not having the upsets.
Single-digit seed.
Javon's watching. Let's see if we can get Javon in here. Matter of fact, because he had that soccer Donnybrook tonight. So we'll see if we can get Javon Livingston in. But the other thing that I did want to mention before we get too deep, because it's good stuff. USCB men's golf leading the Oldfield Classic after the first 2 rounds today. They're at 4 over after 2 rounds. Shot 293, 287. 6-shot lead over D1 Drexel. Ellis Bright, freshman from England, shot 4 under, 68-72, and he's got a 2-shot lead over Drexel's Oscar Maxfield going into tomorrow's final round. So pretty good day for USCB men's golf. Let's see if they can finish it off tomorrow. The women in 10th out of 22 teams at the Lander Lady Bearcat Invitational shot 322, 305. They're 10 shots out of 6, 13 out of 4. So they got a shot to make a move. And McLean Neal tied for 11th after 6 over par today. So pretty solid day for USCB golf all the way around. You must have the Gremlins tonight, Wes.
Yeah, outstanding. It's always nice to be home. That's really cool to have all this. Yeah, I'm in a different set. I got somebody coming to the guest room where I normally film, so the internet is not great where I am now. So I'll try my best, but
no worries, man.
I'm having someone come in the guest room and have to have a change of set for the week. But we'll get through it.
Right on,
but yeah, this USCB golf team, great to have them. Whenever and it's that's one of the draws. That's one of the draws of coming here to USCB, because you get the opportunity to play these events close to home, and that means something. And we talked about it the other day, but we talked on the Sandchuck Rewind, I believe, about just how cool it is to have those home events and how enticing it is to get some cream of the crop golf talent internationally from over here. And it's really cool to see it all come together and for them to produce some low scores over here in the Lowcountry. So yeah, Coach, excited to see them trending in the right direction as we get closer to the big events, because the conference tournaments will be here soon. So great to see them.
Indeed, this is the last event.
To the where they want to be. And 6-stroke lead over Drexel at the Oldfield Classic.
Ellis Bright sitting on top.
Yes, that's what we said.
After
next to last.
4 under. Aaron Williams tied for 3rd. 1 under, and Nikolai Holm tied for 6th at even par. So 3 guys in the top 6, all with a shot. Bright definitely in the driver's seat to try to wrap that thing up. And then the women, they're in pretty good shape as well. As I mentioned, 10th place at the Lady Bearcat, being played up at Greenwood Country Club. And like I said, they're trending upward. They shot 17 shots better in round 2. So hopefully they can continue that. And looking at their individual scores, got McLean Neal there in T11, Jessica Edwards T23. So solid stuff for them. And as noted by Javon in the comments, we got highlights from soccer. Let's check those out. As
kick from the middle and sails just over the crossbar. Kicked inside, trying
got
to get
Javon
it right off
Livingston from Beaufort Zone with the highlights.
Looks like a little bit of a slow roller.
From Beaufort and Philip Simmons, Eagles took the first meeting 4-2 on the road.
That one gonna be
and they've been rolling ever since. Really been rolling since that Crescent Cup up in Columbia where they won the title. And they got on top first tonight.
Attack and going to be scooped up.
Although Duncan couldn't quite put a foot on that one.
0-0. I believe this is Franco.
I believe it's
on the attack.
33rd or 34th minute.
You see what I mean there?
That Buford was able to finally break through as Wes fighting the Gremlins in his locale. Ooh, dangerous chance there.
Shots on close calls on goal tonight. Hirschman kicks it towards the middle.
There's a close call. 34th minute coming soon is when Buford's going to break through. Selena Duncan, as she does, going to get the goal.
Scooped up by Laney.
It's good to see Javon's really paying close attention to his driving tonight.
To the middle, trying to get it back. Opportunity gets by the goalie. The kick from the side, and the Eagles are going to score.
Wow, that's a beautiful ball. I saw that, but I was half asleep after baseball.
I got another shot, Laney.
Laney has been solid, although they rattled her a little bit in the second half tonight. She's been very good.
Corner kick on the way. High. Laney gets her hands on that one and then kicked up high for one to donate and help support our coverage of local high school sports. Been a little bit rough trying to stretch it out.
Javon noting that Laney was in position all night but wasn't sure-handed. Yeah, she seemed to get a little rattled in the second half. Just a little shaky, but
and Buford High getting the second score.
Mad Max Arraj jumping in on us.
What's up,
buddy? Checking out the highlights from Javon, Buford's own, against Philip Simmons Buford girls soccer. Oh, that was
nice.
Yeah, right place, right time, right there.
But another one that makes it 3-1.
So 3-1 Buford.
Started to open up here. The young ladies put some shots on the goal. You see a little bit of a shoot celebration right there. Well, a foot kicked out of the way.
Yeah, see, this is. I think they were up.
But not completely.
I was kind of nodding in and out on the couch after baseball, and thought they were in control. And then the next thing I knew, I woke up and it was tied, and then I saw the go-ahead goal from Philip Simmons, so which ended up being the game-winning goal. So that was a bit of a bit jarring to wake up from my nap and find that.
A little bit too far in the direction of McElhaney.
I went to sleep in a world where Buford was going to win this game and woke up in a world where they lost.
Oh, wow.
That was...
Wow.
Jeez.
Wow.
Philip Simmons had some nice connections in this comeback.
That's going to be
so this was at Philip Simmons. That's right. They had won at home. That's right. Javon went to Philip Simmons both times in this matchup. I don't understand your thinking there, Javon. Could have done both of these matchups at home.
Here by the young ladies. Long kick, Laney.
Man just likes to drive, apparently.
Taken away. Kick across to Duncan. Duncan gets it.
Although Philip Simmons, you know, it's nice little area up there.
Duncan.
Yeah.
Once again, she's got behind the goalkeeper a couple of times.
They must have some fast food he likes up there or something. I'm waiting for him to chime in the comments. All about timing, he said.
He was the game at 3.
So yeah,
3-3.
3-3. And the 55th, it stays that way until very late.
Kicks up front.
Like extra stoppage time.
Find the angle. And behind the goal.
Oh, I couldn't tell from that angle. Neither could he. I thought that might have gone in for a second. Well, that's a good run. Oh, that's a really good run.
And the advance and the kick and the save.
If that thing pops loose, she had friends there for the rebound. Soccer is such a frustrating
And
game.
a high kick, and that would have been a stroke of good luck if that was able to.
The outcome sometimes has so little to do with what went on.
Right.
Yeah.
Kick the Crosby up front to Duncan.
Oh.
The long ball and a little bit off the mark there.
Trying to chip her. Or float it for somebody. Oh, man.
Crosby.
Oh. Crosby's a great athlete.
Duncan puts one off the toes. Has a player with possession, basically. Her and Duncan trying to fight for it there on the
turned into a really good basketball player. Really solid soccer player.
And finally, a yellow card called. And the stop this body falls.
I love the soccer fans.
Fair play there. Not sure 100% about the contact.
Come on, ref.
Soccer,
yeah, sir. Come on, sir. Get him off the pitch.
How was that a yellow card?
I love the Southern soccer fan. It's such a paradox. To hear like soccer lingo and Southern accent is just the greatest.
Right. It's basically a Ted Lasso effect.
Hey, you go to an Atlanta United game, you'll see plenty of those kinds of people there, bro.
Oh, yeah. Come on, sir.
And the long kick.
And I've never seen anyone argue as much about offsides or not offsides than Steve Fuller, though. Legendary
comes the kick from the side.
Clemson quarterback Steve Fuller. You may know him from the Super Bowl Shuffle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chicago Bears. Or from eating at Downtown Deli every afternoon. Oh, man. Go way out.
Deshaun Watson wore his, when he was at Clemson.
That's right.
Dude, what a game. Fuller. Dude, I would have loved to hang out with Javon for this one, man.
Yeah, this was an epic. It really was an epic game. I think that's why I kept waking up, because Javon kept getting excited.
Oh, nice
save. And the volume would go up.
Save.
I was snoozing on the couch, and I kept going, what? Huh?
Jeez, what a save.
Yeah, it was.
Corner kick. Looking for some room.
Oh, another one. DJ Khaled. Another one. Wow. Yeah, so that's what I meant. Like, I am not dogging on Laney for them losing this game. Like, she made some incredible stops to...
Wide kick trying to come in for the header.
So yeah, I guess we went to OT, right? Is that what's happening here?
Yeah, extra time, or this is stoppage time.
Yeah, this is stoppage time.
Yeah, but it goes to like 15 minutes.
Plus 8.
It goes to like 16, bro. I told you I fell asleep, so I was confused by that. I was like, is this overtime or
clock stops?
Normally that means injury time, but
looking for
right.
Yeah.
88s on our board. And there goes Duncan.
Good save.
Whew.
God, I would have loved to have been this game, man.
Yeah, it was.
This is fun to watch.
Donnie Brook. Oh God.
Oh my.
So we'll be going to.
Yeah, see, we flipped the field. So it's got to be overtime.
Yeah, they're on overtime now.
Yeah.
So we're in the second overtime now.
In the same.
Yeah. +3 stoppage, +5 for each OT.
Right.
Yeah.
Bottom of the screen, putting on the moves goes Skipper.
Oh my God!
And Lady gives up the score.
Oh, I think she had it in her hands. Did it? It looked like when her momentum carried her into the.
Oh man, that's tough.
It looked like her momentum carried her into the
dang man,
the goalpost and it knocked it out of her hands. Wow, that's a tough break.
That's rough.
And then they still got the equalizer.
We are over the 13-minute mark, so not sure when the game will actually stop here. That one kicks.
That's the other thing that makes me so anxious about soccer is not knowing when the game's going to end. I do not like being at the mercy of
discretion of the referee.
Yep. Yeah.
Skipper kicks it towards the middle.
Makes me so anxious. And there it is.
Oh man,
the dreaded whistle. Oh man, that was a Donnie Brook, boys.
Yeah. Oh, that's rough. That's a tough one, man. Man, what a game, though. What a game. I would have loved to have been
that
at
was
that, man.
the matchup we were excited about at the start of region play. And wish you could have been able to take that one, but what are you gonna do?
Toughie.
Yeah, dude.
Toughie.
Yeah.
But I mean, wake up call perhaps. They were kind of cruising, and you need that sometimes.
Right.
And
sure.
man, I mean, that was just a battle. Philip Simmons really
yeah.
battled to get back in that game. That ends a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 game win streak in which they really were really impressive. So it was bound to stop at some point. Better now than in the playoffs, right? So I think that's a really solid Buford squad. But Philip Simmons throwing some real fight tonight.
Yeah.
Real fight. Yeah, Javon adding. So I meant by not sure-handed, didn't start the replays early. Philip Simmons had about 4 shots that she saved, but was double clutching or barely stopping. Yeah. Yeah, just a little shaky tonight, but been really solid this year, and a role where there were a lot of questions. I mean, you had an all-world keeper last year with Gwen Wilson, who's really excelling at Georgia Southern, and that was a big question when everything else you knew was going to be solid, and she's been outstanding. So she'll rebound from this, I'm sure, and they've got I think North Charleston next, which is that should be a walkover type situation. Hanahan is pretty solid, so that's not gonna. Actually, they're undefeated, but haven't really played anybody. So they haven't really played anybody though. So
but Hanahan's always one of those teams that somehow, some way their program never goes away. It's always strong.
Across the board. I mean, they're always a sneaky tough team to play, no matter the sport you're talking about, and that's
I just meant that the 6-0 is a little misleading. That's all.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
They'll fight you though.
But I expect.
I didn't know that. They lost Lexi Jones for the season to an ACL.
That's killer.
That's a huge loss. So that you probably don't surrender 4 with your rock star center back.
You got to have a strength in the back line. That's not what you want to see. Tough one for the Eagles. I mean, that's
next woman up, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the mentality.
That's all you can do.
Yep.
Oh shoot, I missed the end of the Iowa game, but I presume they won because Caitlin's smiling. She went out in the championship of the Crescent Cup, and Caitlin would not be smiling if they lost. So they've been strapping it together, even without her.
64-54. They went up winning by 10, and they will face Colorado.
It was tied at 52.
Wow.
Smoked them at the end. How about that?
Yep.
Nice.
So we got the Lowco versus our good Lowco friend Curry Kirkpatrick. We got Alabama UNC coming up on Thursday.
We sure do. Yeah.
9:40 start time. Pringle up against the Tar Heels.
Pringle versus Curry. I'll be pulling for Pringle. Curry will be hilarious whenever North Carolina loses, so I'll look forward to that. But he'll be full of fire and brimstone whenever they do bow out, if they do, or if they win it, he'll be full of piss and vinegar. So either way, we'll get world-class Curry.
We'll get a good reaction from Curry anyway.
Let's shout out some sponsors, boys. We're getting a little deep. MVP sponsors of LowcoSports. Start with my wife, Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports. She's with Anchor Home Group at Keller Williams of the Lowcountry. She would love to help you find your place in the Lowco and put down an anchor in the best place. So if you're ready to get into the Lowco real estate market, call on Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of LowcoSports, and my wife. Homegrown Home Inspections are our official home inspector of LowcoSports and the best in the business in the Lowco when it comes to checking out that home from top to bottom, making sure that you're making a great investment. So call on Homegrown Home Inspections. John Lucas and his team will inspect that home for you and make sure you're making a great investment. Mickelson Law Firm, official real estate closing attorneys of LowcoSports, and your original LowcoSports sponsor since 2017. We love Ryan and Tiffany and the Mickelson squad, and they are the official sponsors of our LowcoSports Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. Max, your boys look good tonight, 7-1 over JP2.
Yeah.
Nicholson Law Firm. Go see them for all your legal needs down in downtown Bluffton. And Hospice Care of the Lowcountry, the Golden Oyster Award winner for the nonprofit of the year. They're the official official hospice provider of LowcoSports and the only not-for-profit hospice provider in Southern Beaufort County. And if you want to support them and have a great time doing it, you got to get a ticket to the Yacht Hop May 18th over at Wexford. Dress in all white, go out on the yachts, get some great food and beverage, have a great time supporting Hospice Care of the Lowcountry, where it's not about dying, it's about living. And Max, we saved it for you to talk about some of this baseball because we knew you'd want to talk about it, especially HHCA tonight, 7-1 over JP2. Really good outing once again from James Crosby, who goes 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 3 Ks. Ross Putnam battled. They got to him. He shut him out for 3 innings. They got to him in the 4th and the 5th and put up 3 runs each inning. Steel Bird went deep. And then, a bunch of people had RBI knocks. But Bird and Crosby really carrying it tonight for HHCA. And I think, they were awakened by that loss to Hilton Head Prep last week. And they're looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, that loss to Prep, I think was, that call that say, hey, yeah, we're good, but there are teams who can beat us, So we have to play better as a team. Don't play individual baseball, Find ways to play team ball, be energized when you're winning, be excited that you're actually winning a baseball game. And I think that loss to Prep was that wake-up call that they needed. And, they came out and absolutely had a totally different game against Prep on that Wednesday following after the Monday night loss. They had a fantastic game against Prep at Prep as well. And then you go over and you play your other region foe, JP2. And you're playing against probably their best pitcher, Ross Putnam.
Oh, yeah.
And they found ways to score runs on him. So from what I'm looking at, I think they've figured out that, hey, this isn't about me. It's about us. And I think that's what they've been missing all season long. And I think they've started to figure out that, hey, if we play better together, no one can stop us. We have a shot of beating any team that comes in our way. So I think they're showing that incredibly well, especially in tonight's game. They got another game against JP2 on Wednesday. I look forward to seeing how that game goes for them. But
Javon saying he's got game 3.
Nice.
Ooh. I can't wait for that. I think that's at Christian Academy. So we'll see.
I believe that's accurate.
Yeah. So they got JP2 on Wednesday, and then I think they have a tournament coming up as well.
Yeah, they're playing in that Hanahan tournament, and if they get Timberland first, and if they win that, they play James Island.
Which I'm excited to see because I think that could be a really good matchup between those two teams. So I'm excited to see if they can find ways to win in that tournament. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Hilton Head Christian play on Wednesday. Hopefully I can get out for a short period of time to see them play. Don't know if I'll be able to make it, but I will definitely try. But yeah, I mean, another good win for Hilton Head Christian. I think they've started to figure out how to play as a team. I think that was their biggest issue going into that game against Prep on Monday. And I think, that was a wake-up call that they needed. And so I'm excited to see how the rest of the season goes for them because if they can keep playing like this, there's not many teams. There's not many teams.
If the pitching staff holds up, as we go down the stretch, I mean, that's the key. Crosby with a really good outing going deep. 3 strikeouts, will only walk 2, 1 earned run. That's some solid stuff against an always tough JP2 team that's going to make you fight for a victory. And Steel Bird, the Bird brothers have been electric this year. Cody Bratz, he consistently gets on base and does some damage when he gets on. And they really got all the tools in the back pocket. And if they put it all together, it's going to be hard for anybody in that Skiza classification to beat him. So that's the question. I mean, they look like they could have done it last year, give them a good shot, and just didn't
it was just
the way they wanted to. And if they can stay healthy and play the style of game that suits them well, and that's that wee ball ahead of the me ball, and that's what's going to take. So I like Hilda Krishkami a lot. When they're on, they are dangerous. But my alma mater, okay, they get it done for once.
Yeah, man.
4-1. Great win by Hilton Head. That's a great win over an always scrappy and solid Bluffton team.
Turf Monsters. Sniper got him coming around third.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really surprised that Bluffton's still winless in this region. I mean, I saw them play a couple weeks back, and I was like, this is a good team. And the fact that they're still winless, I think, shows just how tough this region is.
Great defense, I think that was the difference in this game was Hilton Head's defense. They were on point tonight. The infield was tremendous, turned a couple of nice double plays. Also, Brooke was outstanding on the mound, and it takes good pitching and good defense, and Hilton Head really had all of that today, and Bluffton was just fighting it. A couple of big Ks for also Brooke in this ball game. He was spectacular. Looking at the final line score for this ball game, if I can find it. There it is. 6 Ks for also Brooke, going all 7 innings. Miles Fry was solid. He struck out 6, didn't walk anybody, but Hilton was able to scrap a couple of hits. Jackson Body got 2 of them. Connor Wendell drove in 3. I mean, productive situational hitting from Wendell. I mean, you need that guy, that spark plug. Again, today it was Connor Wendell, but Slater also Brooke. I didn't film it, but he had a ringing double to left, really pretty late in the ball game. So doing it at the plate as well as on the mound for those Hilton
nice player.
Seahawks.
I really like him.
He is. He was the leadoff guy for most of last year, and they put him a little further down the lineup, and sometimes that motivates you when you get that demotion in the lineup. That I gotta get the back going, and as a pitcher sometimes you have multiple jobs you have to take care of when you're playing high school ball, and when you're pitching, you're hitting as well, and so he kind of brought it all together tonight, which was cool. But yeah, that's when you every time you get a win over Bluffton at a rival like that, you got to earn it, and certainly they're their team, and they earned this win, and now Bluffton, like I said, all the pressure's on them to respond on their home field on Wednesday, and I expect that to be another good game.
I mean, you gotta think that they're frustrated at this point.
They
still haven't gotten a region win. I think you would think that they are coaches probably frustrated too.
They lost 2 2-run games to May River. They lost a 2-run game and a 1-run game to James Island, which the 1-run game ended in controversy. And then 3-run loss tonight.
Yeah.
So just I would say frustrated is a guarantee.
Probably an understatement. It's probably an understatement. It's just I mean, I got the opportunity to see Bluffton play a couple weeks back. Obviously it was a bit of a tune-up game, but I looked across this lineup and I was like, this is a really good team, and I really think they have a shot at winning this region. But again, every team in this region looks like they have a shot at winning the region. So
I think the difference is pitching depth. I mean, front line 1-2, Fry and Martucci are as good as anybody else's, but they kind of have to ride them. Like they have to almost throw a complete game because they just don't have other arms that they trust that much to come in and leverage situations.
Yeah.
And so what has happened a lot, it seems like, in region play is they're in a dogfight, 2-1, 3-2 something, and then they give up 2 in the 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th. They lose by 1 because that third time through the order, these good teams, after they've seen a guy a couple times, they're going to adjust and they're going to find a way, and they just don't have that kind of lockdown third arm that can come in and nail it down. So I think that's really the difference. It's just a slight difference in pitching depth. If they had that one guy that could kind of nail it down, May River's got Hargis can come in and piggyback somebody if they get knocked out early, but Bluffton just doesn't really have that fallback. They got some guys who are pretty solid that have thrown good midweek starts for them and stuff. I call it midweek even though it's not that. That's what it makes sense to me.
Like college
but you know what I mean. but they just don't have enough depth to like be able to really stack two guys in every region game that they really feel good about. So it's tough. But they're right there knocking on the door still. Would you be surprised if they beat Hilton Head on Wednesday and then, swept Colleton and took one off Lucy Beckham? Like, I wouldn't.
No, then they're probably in the playoffs.
I also wouldn't be that surprised if they lost them all. I mean, it's either one.
That's just how this region is. I mean, it's all so close together. You have so many good teams.
I mean, you can be evidenced by what happened in Colleton. Cougars also almost knocking off James Island 2-1. The Trojans won it, but Carpenter gave all they could handle. I mean, 7 innings, just let one earned run that he gave up 2 runs total, and then Daviar Varner with a nice day at the plate, 2 for 3. So credit to Colleton for hanging with a very good James Island team, and maybe James Island one of those situations where you just think, oh well, it's Colleton. We're not going to take it kind of lightly, and Colleton responded.
I wouldn't recommend it with that group.
Yeah.
But James Island's also undefeated, and when you're undefeated this deep in the season, it's for a reason, and it's because you know how to win the game. When it comes time, you find a way to get the job done. The guy they threw tonight was Kyle Stock, and he was pretty terrific. I don't know where he ranks in their pecking order, but they got a bunch of really good arms, and he went the distance, 4 hits, 1 unearned run, no walks, 12 Ks. So they got a whole stable of arms. Speaking of pitching depth, James Island's got a bunch. Wes, you also checked out some softball at the Nest tonight, and as you noted, JP2 was kind of banging up the young Seahawks.
Yeah,
13-3 win.
Yeah, this Hilton team, as you said, very, very young. They're learning the job, and I expect a lot more out of them in the future. But JP2 really showed something in this ball game. They were, finding the holes, picking up some solid hits, and just playing a really all around strong evening of softball. And
huge game for Casey Graves.
Casey Graves.
A lot 2 for 3, a triple, a homer, 3 runs, 5 RBIs.
Wow,
nice.
Yeah, that's a solid performance from Graves, and a lot of those names familiar because they play on that basketball team that got to the state championship, and there's some talented athletes in that group. Graves was great. Saw Gracie Henderson. As well as some others on the Heathcott. We talked about those siblings before. They've got a couple on that team. So it's a solid
there's
group.
A whole bunch of Heathcotts. These are 2 new Heathcotts that play softball. We knew Maddie from basketball and volleyball, and Jarrett from baseball, and now we got 2 more Heathcotts on this softball team.
Very nice.
Heathcotts just keep coming. Nice dub for them. Also on the softball front, Beaufort 18-4 over Bluffton. I wanted to shout out some stats from this one. Sailor Waldorf, 4 for 5, a triple, a homer, 4 runs, 3 RBIs. Monster night.
Wow. That, Max.
Adeline Johnson went 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 1 walk, 6 Ks for the win, and was 2 for 4 with a walk, 5 runs, and 3 RBIs. So really nice night for her as well. And Kaylin Adkins, 4 for 5, a double, 2 runs, and 3 RBIs. So just banging up. Wow. Banging up the Bobcats tonight. Beaufort's solid, man. It's a solid squad. I know you like that team, Max.
I do. They look real good. I mean, I got to see them play their opener against West Ashley, and then obviously last week I got to watch them play against Battery Creek, and Battery Creek's not a terrible team either. They've had a good season so far as well. So, I looked in, at one point it was Battery Creek up, with 2 outs left in the 7th, and Beaufort found some way to score a run with 2 outs left. With 2 outs in the 7th, and went on to win the game, scoring like 5 runs in the 9th inning or something.
Yeah.
So they know how to. They know how to battle. They know how to fight. They also know how to win games, and they also know how to play team ball as well. So I'm looking at Beaufort, and I'm saying, they have a real good shot of being in contention for a lower state title, if not possibly a state championship too. I think they're good, really good.
Yeah, I do too. I mean,
that
you're
entire
as
Buford
good as your
family
pitcher.
of athletics. Yeah, they know.
Speaking of which, I'm glad you said that Buford family of athletics, because we have some news on that front. They have a new athletic director. There's white smoke on Ladies Island. Effective July 1st, Bradley Adams, who's currently at Georgetown High School, will become the new AD at Buford High, replacing interim AD Ron Lanham, who had stepped in when Link Lyles was reassigned. So it's been, a journey. They had an interim, and I think, don't know if we mentioned it formally last week or not. It might have slipped through the cracks, but interim tag removed from Jermaine Bigham at May River, so he will be the dude there, and that means they'll be hiring a girls basketball coach. So congrats to Big. I don't know whether Ron wanted the job full time. They needed somebody to fill in, and he got it done. But we also got May River and Buford softball on the schedule.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a Donnybrook as well. I love it. I love these Lowco and Lowco cross classification battles. But yeah, looking forward to working with Bradley Adams, coming from Georgetown to be the new AD at Buford High. And I think they've had some tumult, you would say.
Yes.
With some turnover in a lot of programs. Obviously, you've got some continuity with football and with boys basketball now with Huff in there. Reggie coming back has stabilized girls basketball. Track's rock solid. A lot of the programs are really nailed down, but then there are a few that have kind of had some ups and downs. And you've had, the girls golf coach situation obviously was not good. We spoke about last week about the arrests for serious charges. So, I think it was probably a wise move by the district to say we're going outside on this one. We're bringing in somebody from the eyes on the situation and
hit the restart.
Just kind of a hard reset and
change the scenery and sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you just kind of you start to not notice the dust in the corners and stuff, and so it's probably a good move. And I'm excited that Bigham got the role full time. I know that he was a little apprehensive about it going into it as an interim, like, well, he just didn't know if he was ready to give up coaching, and make that pivot. But I've seen him really lean into the administrator's role this year, and I think he would probably admit that it impacted his team negatively, probably because it was too many things. There's a reason why the district has a rule that you can't be a head coach and an AD. They've seen that it's too much, and so I think it probably negatively impacted his basketball program. But I did see him kind of grow into his administrator shoes a little bit, and I think he's excited to go into the next phase of his career. So he's definitely the kind of guy. I actually see him, even though he's been a coach his whole life, I kind of see him more suited as an administrator at this stage because he's just kind of mellowed, and I don't know. I can see him having more of a heart for what he can do in that role at this stage than he does for the basketball. So I'm excited for that, but also just excited to have some new ADs. I think it's nice. I think they'll bring some new ideas to the table that will filter out to other schools in the district, and it'll just be good. But,
it's always nice to have fresh minds, fresh ideas. As much as it hurts to sometimes see change and to see people move away from their roles. It's great to have new faces have their say and the way athletics, because when you're somewhere else you're able to bounce new ideas and just thoughts off of people. So I think it's a good direction for Buford, and certainly you're hiring someone who has the qualities and capabilities to contribute to the strong nature of what we've seen with Buford Athletics. So, I'm sure they've done their homework and made the right hire that is going to make the best impact on their school. So I'm excited to work with some new outstanding individuals, and it's always fun to see some new faces, heading to continue the story of LowcoSports and be a part of it.
Yeah, man. Varsity sponsors of LowcoSports help us do this every weeknight. And they are DDS Web Design, which builds, hosts, and maintains websites for businesses and nonprofits that get results. So if you need to get found online so you can do more and think bigger, call on DDS Web Design at DDSHHI.com. Parker Law Group serves legal needs across Colleton, Hampton, and Jasper counties. And they also support us so that we can continue to expand our coverage in those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes around the Lowcountry. So call on Parker Law Group if you have legal needs. Reverence Wrestling Club is the official wrestling sponsor of LowcoSports and the presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind. Go see Reverence if you want to take your skills on the mat to the next level. And Dr. Ambrose Cole, the official chiropractor of LowcoSports. You can find him at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, where he will get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. Dr. Ambrose Cole. Fellas. Wes,
USCB.
Actually, yeah, you want to talk USCB? I do have
because Max.
Okay, yeah, we can talk USCB. Sad.
Yeah,
okay.
Just glancing over it. Jesus, that softball game just heartbreaking. Man.
Womp womp. Yeah, tough one. 7 in the 6th.
Yeah,
all 3 games they had leads, and only one of them they were able to close out. I was actually thinking about this. This is the kind of stupid stuff that goes through my head, but I was like, man, like they've almost got the Cobra Kai mindset. They got the strike first. They got the strike hard, but still working on the no mercy.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, this isn't the first time either, because they did this against Flagler last weekekend too. At home, they did it to Flagler. Did it to them twice. They did it to them twice. I mean, they were up with 2 outs in the 7th against Flagler, and somehow Flagler scored 3 runs to win the game. It's just.
I think it's kind of yippy at this point. Like.
Yeah, it's just it's frustrating if you're a Sandshark fan, because you see how good they can be, but when it comes to finishing the game, they're so close. They're so close to being really good and competitive.
Coaches talk a lot about learning how to win, and it feels like they're still trying to turn that corner.
Yeah, sure. But hey, despite the loss, Chloe Turner with a really nice game, 2 for 3, a double home run, drove in 3. Man. Great to see that from her.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah, much needed.
They just keep getting output from kids that I haven't even learned their name yet, and I'm like, oh, hey, good job.
How about I'm sorry I wasn't on last night, but how about Jaden Goodwin in game 1 smoking a home run, man?
Oh,
I saw the replay. I saw the replay on that. Oh my goodness, did she smoke it?
She most certainly did.
Yeah,
I got it here somewhere.
She gripped it and she ripped it too. Yeah. It was gone in a hurry.
Got it. Yeah. I mean, it was a missile. It looked like a line drive, and it just kept going.
That's a pretty field.
Just stuff like that. You look at some of these players and like, we have some real good players on this team. It's just if they can find a way to hold on to leads, I think they have something going for them. I think if you can find a way to hold on to leads, they have something really special cooking.
And if a frog had wings.
Yeah. And we've kind of seen a similar situation with baseball, but this was, I think, the best game they've played all series. Baseball. Brandon Martin was outstanding. Gave him the quality start that they needed pitching wise. He went 7, 3 earned runs, 3 Ks. And once again, just Augusta was able to strike late in a tie game, 3-3, and they come up with 3 in the 9th inning to provide a difference. But just they're once again right there, and just unable to finish the job and get it done. But this is a Hilton or a USCB team that is still finding their way. They've gotten some terrific pieces across the diamond, and we've seen some glimpses of a team that can be really good, but just still trying to piece it all together.
I still think they're missing a couple pieces. I still think they're missing. They really need someone who can hit power wise.
Yeah,
because they don't have that on the team, and look, it's fine. I like seeing them play scrappy. I do love it.
Yeah,
I think it's great to see that on the team.
You got to have. I mean, you need a guy like a Leandy Castro. I mean, a guy who can hit for power. That's
Humphrey.
Kind of what Humphrey.
Yeah, you need.
Well, and just even if he doesn't hit a ton of home runs, you need that threat. Just that.
You need that
scary looking dude in the middle of the lineup.
Well, you look at their lineup. There's no home runs so far this season for USCB. Not one. Right? Yeah. So you're looking and you're like, they need a power hitter. Offensively, I think that's like the biggest piece that they're missing. Defensively, I don't see anything wrong defensively with them. They just have a lot of errors.
Although the shortstop on Sunday made a couple of errors.
They've rotated some guys through there. They can't quite find the guy that. I mean, that's tough. I mean, you really need to have about 4 shortstops, and you need to have them playing third base, second base.
I mean, you look at
they've kind of platooned a couple of guys. I mean, we saw Driscoll Sadusky playing second, and then Nico Anders playing first, who was normally the catcher in the past.
I mean, you look at Augusta's roster.
Is an effort to just get more power in the lineup because both those guys have pretty good bats.
Yeah, you look at Augusta's roster, and they have a full roster, and I do mean a full roster compared to USCB. Like, I mean, they have a bigger roster than USCB does. Yeah. They also have a lot more guys who can hit for power. I mean,
Harper Ingram had himself a week. He had that home run, that 3-run homer, and then another home run today. And then you got Lodis, who's been solid. Lodis, and then Roche had a good day at catcher today, 3 for 4. So, you need to have more of a top heavy. I mean, you want to have more top heavy guys. You want to still have those scrappy guys like you see for USCB throughout that lineup, but it just
But I don't think they're that far away. I mean,
they're not there.
They have some really good foundational pieces, and I get what you're saying, Max. Like you add like one big bat in the middle. You add a really solid transfer shortstop who shores that up, and you add like one front end arm, and you got
They're not missing a whole lot. Yeah, you got a solid squad. If you can get those 3 key pieces, you have a solid squad. They're just, I don't know. You look at this conference and you're like, good Lord, every team we play is just solid, really solid. I mean, this is what makes the Peach Belt Conference probably one of the toughest conferences in all of Division II sports when it comes to baseball. And softball as well. I mean, softball, you have the number 1 ranked team in your conference.
Right.
I mean, that's rough. And you start the season out at North Georgia, or was it at home? It was at home, right?
It was at North Georgia, yeah.
It was at North Georgia. Yeah, that's even tougher. Like, that's a tough way to start your region play. So, like, you look at this conference and you're thinking, we need to figure out ways to be competitive in this, and I think softball is not far away, and baseball isn't either. Nope. They're just baseball's missing some key pieces, and softball I think softball has the pieces. They need to find ways to hold on to leads. Yeah, they need one more pitcher. Yeah, they need one more pitcher. Other than that, I think they have a real solid squad and a team. I just think their biggest issue is finding ways to hold on to runs. And I think getting that extra pitcher might be the key for them.
I think the offense is solid. I think the defense is pretty solid. Pretty solid. I mean, solid, there's not like a big hole in the defense. They sacrifice some defense for offense at second base, and because Goodwin is offense first, and she's not a liability defensively or anything, but she's in there for a bat. But they're pretty solid, from a position player standpoint. I think they're one pitcher, and I mean, obviously, if you're blowing games in the late innings, that you're one pitcher away. You just wish you had one more that you could show them that doesn't look like the others, So, but they're on the cusp as well. And again, and we've mentioned it before, but they're still in the middle of that they're in purgatory. They're in D2 purgatory where they can compete for conference tournament, but they can't compete in national championships. This is like the real purgatory stage where you can't compete in any national championships because you're not NAIA eligible anymore. So they knew they were going to go through the desert for a couple of years. And that always has a negative impact on recruiting for a short term. But, I think the elephant in the room is facilities. That's the thing where they can't measure up to their peers on the recruiting trail. And, our understanding is that there's been movement on that, positive movement in the past few months. And then again, in the past few weeks, I think we're going to see that sooner than later. And I think that will be the turning point, the tipping point.
I really hope that. I really hope we see this sooner rather than later. Because
we will.
Yeah.
I feel pretty confident.
We're not saying we don't love Richard Gray Sports Complex because we love going there. It's fun there.
Great temporary home.
Yeah,
but sure. you're so far away from your own campus that it becomes a major factor in recruitment.
From your like real fan base, the fan base isn't really in Hardyville; it's in Bluffton, Hilton Head, Beaufort.
We always get decent, good crowds for softball and baseball games. You don't. You see a few students there, but it's mainly like parents and stuff like that. You want to have the student fan base in those games.
When I worked there, we just dreamed about how many golf carts would drive over from Sun City for the games. It would just be incredible. We talked about having golf cart parking up on the berm to Sun City, so they could just park up there and overlook the field. But no, I think it's inevitable, and sooner rather than later. There's a lot of kind of outcry for it right now. And I just think I always said that the key to getting baseball and softball on campus was to get basketball on campus, because once you get people to come on your campus, they will go, oh, this is so nice. Why isn't baseball and softball here? Well, funny you should ask.
Well, the other thing
would you like to join the booster club?
Yeah. The other thing is you're not in the NAIA anymore. You're playing D2 baseball, D2 softball. It's you start needing to figure out how to move. You got basketball now, and the fan base is loving it. You got to find a way to get baseball and softball back on the right track.
That's the.
But Wes, you checked out lacrosse over the weekend on Saturday and saw Hilton Head boys and girls both in action. Girls had a nice win over Academic Magnet. The guys had a tough loss in a Donnybrook against.
A Donnybrook that was played at the midway point. We had like an hour and a half long lightning delay. That was right smack in the middle of it when Hilton Head was up 7-6. So we had to wait out over an hour for the lightning to clear. And then we came back out. The sun came back out. And it was a Donnybrook after that, back and forth the rest of the way. And the Seahawks lose by 1 right there at the end. They had a lead, but a couple of, tough penalties going against them. Bishop England got the man up. Getting some goals very late and found a way to take the 10-9 win. But just a really great lacrosse game. It was long because of the weather, but still, it was worth it to be out there because, what a battle. Jackson Olander with a hat trick, Jacob Martin, Jack Fielding with some nice games, dealing with 5 ground balls, and Lucas Thibodeau as well, providing some excellent offense throughout. But that was a fun one. Hilton Head girls 16-7 over Academic Magnet. Maddie Massey with 4 goals and an assist, and Veronica Markowicz with 3. That's a really well-oiled squad. Did we get a score from tonight? I saw they were behind against Chapin, but
let me Let me make another pass here and see if we got a score. No, I do not see a score.
All right, let's
So
another
yeah,
time.
not sure about that one, but we'll check for it in the morning. It'll be on Last Night in the Loco tomorrow. I promise you that. Let's see. No, I don't see it on the Instagram either. So we are without that score tonight, but nonetheless,
we'll let you know when we get it.
That's right. We'll talk about that one tomorrow night. But the other thing that we noted at the top, but we'll circle back around to, it ends for USC Salk. The Salkahatchee Stunner, as we dubbed it, put Salk into the NJCAA National Championship Tournament. They opened against the host Hutch today, and they come up short in that one, 96-82. I saw a blast from the past. I saw Cody Hopkins tweeting about the game and noting that Salk really gave him hell. They were down 7.5, 50-43. This was a fun game, by the way.
Yeah.
Really fun game, up and down. I'm about to get the box score up here for you, but there we go. Navarda Huggins and Grayson Kirk were the two guys most of the year. Higgins, they really slowed him down. He only had 6. Grayson Kirk with 32 today. Jai Chisholm with 21. And again, this Salk team, all freshmen, first year back to fielding a program after being down for a year. And just a terrific job by Matt Lynch and our guy Maurice Crowder and those young men from Salk from all over the globe coming to Walterboro and
really cool.
Taking it all the way to Hutch. So pretty cool stuff.
Fun story.
If they stay together as a team, I think you can find another few seasons of absolutely fantastic.
It's going to entice others to join as well. I mean, you're going to I mean, it's a great opportunity for guys.
I mean, think if he could put this team together with no track record, with nothing to sell but a vision. So imagine now what kind of recruiting he'll be able to do. You know, now that people have seen it. Same thing that we've said about Fudala. Fudala put together a really talented roster. You know, based on just a vision. There was nothing to actually show him, just a vision. And you know, now he's got something to show him. So I think it's going to be pretty cool to watch both those programs develop. Although, you know, I think Lynch is just like Fudala. He's going to be coveted by some people. People are going to try to hire Lynch. I think it'll just be a question of whether he's done doing what he set out to do here yet. Although, you know, I mean, I say people are going to hire him. He's the first openly gay coach in men's college basketball. So, you know, some people are going to shy away from that. And for, you know, however you feel about that, it's a fact. And so we'll see. I mean, he's found a place where he's been welcomed and he's had success. And I always say, don't bleep with happy. And he seems to be having the time of his life right now. So maybe he'll be in Walterboro for a little while longer. But
I hope so.
Well, hey, fellas, let's. Yeah, no question. It's past Wes's bedtime, so we got to bring this thing in for a landing. But the Lowco Booster Club Court Lifestyle Pros are Daniel and Debbie Court. They're Lowco natives who want to bring you home to Hilton Head Island. They work with Charter One Realty. So call on Court Lifestyle Pros if you want to move to the island and be Wes's neighbor. Revive Rehab, Women's Health and Pelvic Floor Physical Therapy. Dr. Allie and Dr. Jen are the place, the people to go see if you have postpartum issues. Or if you have a friend who does, you can send them over to Revive Rehab. Eagle Creations has promotional items and custom apparel as well as custom gift baskets. You can go see their showroom over on Argent Boulevard to see what all they can do for you at Eagle Creations. Jay's Barbershop is the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. You can always go get some great conversation and come out looking stylish at Jay's Barbershop. And Barefoot Floor Care of the Lowcountry, Chris Odom will get your floors so clean your feet will thank you, and he'll make you smile while he's doing it because he's just a good dude. Shout out to Chris Odom and Barefoot Floor Care of the Lowcountry. That's the Lowco Booster Club. It's Monday, Wes. I remembered for once. So we got teams of the week. Who you got?
Yeah. For my team of the week, for this past week, I would say, well, I can't pick any USCB squads. They both had a tough week at it, but two teams that are in the right direction for sure. I'm trying to look at the last week, but you took everything
out.
One,
Max?
So I was trying to.
You got one, Max? Oh, it's down at the bottom.
Trying to think. I'm trying to look back.
I got
one. Go ahead. You go ahead. I totally forgot it was Monday. I normally I do. I just forgot until the end. I was doing
payback, baby.
Yeah.
Payback.
You go first. You go first. I'm looking for one. Go ahead.
Yeah, all right. Give me May River softball, man. They had a real fantastic week.
They lost tonight.
Yeah, they did lose tonight. I'm a little disappointed, but apparently Elizabethton is a real good team. So but give me May River softball, man. They had a real good week last week. I'm trying to find them here. Give me a second. I had it stuck on Hilton Christian. They beat Hilton Head High. Not really. That's a team really in like a rebuild mode at the moment. Right. You beat JP2, which is a solid squad. All the games that they've played, they've basically dominated. So I'm really looking forward to seeing them. I am hoping to see them on Thursday against Colleton County. I'm hoping to go out to that game and watch that one. I want to see, what I'm looking at for that team, and just to see how deep they can go in the playoffs as a unit. So, give me May River softball.
I'm gonna go one that you wouldn't expect, but it's a team that really deserves it, and that's the Hilton Head Prep boys soccer team getting their first win since 2019.
Yeah.
1-0 over Calvary Day. They had some troubles with COVID, and they lost a couple in a row, more than a couple in a row. But just great to see that team come through with a victory, and then a good fight today against JP2. So this is a team that's on the up and up, and just great to see them getting back in the win column. So just wanted to give a extra special congratulations to those guys, because when you go several years without a win, that gets you, especially for those seniors, it means a lot. So, and just really proud of that team. So gonna give them the honors this week.
Outstanding choices. There's still a bunch of pretty solid ones on the table. I like the Bluffton boys soccer. I'm gonna go two. I'm gonna go Bluffton boys soccer, and I'm gonna go Hilton Head Prep girls soccer. Hilton Head Prep with the 5-1 win today over JP2. That's impressive. That JP2 girls team is really solid. Hilton Head Prep girls are looking like the real deal once again. And Bluffton boys also look like the real deal. They come off big wins last week. James Island in PKs. Colleton, they routed them 9-2. Huge one tomorrow night against May River in the Den. And Connor Worrell will be there and will be reporting for us tomorrow night on the Lowdown. So I definitely look forward to that. Looks like Wes dipped to bed. So wish him well, and we'll definitely see him tomorrow night. But Max, good times tonight, hanging out, talking sports. We got a little long-winded. There was a lot to talk about, but we'll bring it in for a landing. So thanks to everybody who showed up to listen or watch tonight, as well as all of our sponsors who make it all possible. We'll see if we can get some friends to come hang out tomorrow night. I know Connor will be by to talk soccer. We'll see who else shows up to talk local sports here on the LowcoSports Lowdown. So for the sleepily departed worldwide Wes Kerr and Mad Max Arraj, I'm Justin Jarrett, and we'll be back tomorrow night. Till then, go Loco.
The LowcoSports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco.